Good evening and welcome to the Reel McCoy podcast. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and with me always my hetero life mate, Oh My Feelings. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
And we've got a special guest, Miss Ling from the BLT bar. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Hello. What is The Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we send you to watch a movie. You watch it, come back to us, and we geek out on it. We dissect it, we break it down, and we do all that good stuff. So before we start heading into everything, if you want to be a part of the show or give suggestions, at Meffistoe on to the Twitch machine or on the gram Meffistoe79, or if you want to email us at the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com, or if you don't want to watch us on YouTube, of course, you can always go to Twitch and do twitch.tv/the Reel McCoy podcast. And because we have a fabulous guest, we're going to show us some love. So go to the BLT bar at twitch.tv, the BLT bar, and give her a follow, her and her man Trey. Is that a weekly show you do?
Yes, we do a weekly show on Sunday. We basically it's kind of like a variety show type deal, but usually we'll make cocktails and chat and just kind of hang out on Sundays.
Yeah, and you can follow Ling and Trey, of course, at the BLT bar on the gram or on the Twit machine. Awesome. This week we go dark, we go deep, we go Korean with I Saw the Devil from 2010. Mm-hmm. What a fabulous ride. I watched it in two parts. I had to watch it on Friday and had to watch the ending today. And then I kind of watched it all over again at my at grandma at my mother's place when I took the kids. What a ride. What a ride. So, Oh My Feelings, you suggested this movie and I haven't seen it before. Mm-hmm. and I thank you for it. So, give us
You're
your initial reactions to rewatching it again.
I have to say this is maybe the 30th or 40th time I've seen this movie.
Just a,
It's
That's
one of
impressive.
it's one of my favorite films. I believe that it is actually the director's best work. Um, it's really hard to get a really short synopsis of the film, other than the fact that it's basically just the story of the decline of a man into becoming the monster that he is hunting.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would say so as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
How about you, Ling? You told us backstage you are not like a big movie buff, and you never saw this movie, and you're
Nope.
not the kind of you're not the kind of person to go out and seek these kind of movies or movies in general. So, how it was for you in initial reaction?
So I enjoy movies. I enjoy media and film, but it's always hard for me to sit down and actually turn something on. So this was the first time in a hot minute that I have turned on a movie on my own accord to watch it. And feelings had given me the content warning, and I was like, okay, I can prepare myself. I get it. I didn't get it apparently because I have plenty. I was telling y'all, I have plenty of notes that I wrote so that I wouldn't forget. But
That's good.
the notes turned into just commentary, and how many things were capitalized because I was so in shock was just like it's in here. It was a
We'll
doozy.
try to cover everything. We can't go scene by scene like always, but we will try and cover as much as humanly possible. And I think that's a good point to start with our first segment, which is we go to All My Feelings and we find out the things behind the screen.
Production take 2.
All right, good sir, give us your down low or upload,
Okay.
whichever
First
one
and
it is.
foremost, the Korean Board of Film made the director recut the entire movie twice.
Let me
Ooh.
guess. Gratuitous nudity.
No, graphic violence.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The actual uncensored
okay.
version, which I don't believe you both have seen, because the uncensored version is actually 2 hours and 41 minutes.
No.
There's some extra scenes in there that I've already stipulated in my notes, like do not mention this because they have not seen it. It's excessive for the sake of being excessive.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
would
It
say
really doesn't add anything to it. It's just more just like, oh wow, this is shock value for just shock value's sake.
just considering the amount of immediacy some women got it, like attacked, I would say it's at least 4 more women biting the dust.
No,
I'm gonna
it's
say two.
there's one, but the
Okay.
other one is the actual cut scene of what happens to Juyon's sister,
Oh,
the police
Oh,
chief's
it just
third daughter.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
And it's not. Is it me or there's a glimpse of her wrapped in a quilt
Yes,
Yes. Mhm.
somewhere along the end where it
that
Yep.
is. Yep, that's correct.
it was
The
getting
last
it
10
was getting
minutes.
emotional, and we see
Mhm.
like smidgen, and then it
Just a
just
snippet.
moves
Yep.
past. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, if before you go on, if you think I'll remember the names of the people, you are sadly mistaken.
Don't worry. That's why I have all their names written down, and I'm gonna try my best not to butcher them. My Korean is not great.
I know.
As long as you're trying.
Go on. Let's move on to the next point.
The film received a restricted rating again twice by the Korean standards of film, which means that it could not actually receive any marketing for its theatrical debut. or it's home release. So like you see movie trailers and everything, like just on TV.
Yeah.
No, that no. The
If it was
Korean Board of Film went, no, you can't.
if it
No.
was an American film, that would literally tank the film.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which goes into another point, which is this was actually Choi Min-suk's first film. I always get his name wrong. I know I do. Since the
fine.
changes to the Korean actual screen quota system, because they actually had made it more stringent than it was beforehand. Had it not had been as stringent before, I don't think that I Saw the Devil would have actually gotten a theatrical release in Korea.
That's
Because
interesting.
with the quota system, do you guys know what a quota system is? For based on
Sort of
the country?
roughly, yeah. Yeah.
It's basically based off of the concept of a certain percentage of films have to be made within the country about people in the country, so they can't be just all foreign films
we
that are
have
coming in.
kind of the same thing. If you want to get help from the, I think it's called the Israeli movie fund or something rather. Yeah, it has to have a certain number of actors, certain number of hours screened, or like people employed, all that stuff. Especially if they want to do like outside shots. So there was a satirical movie made in Israel, kind of did something close to Life of Brian from Monty Python. So
Oh,
a
yeah.
satirical movie about sort of like biblical stuff, and they recorded most of it, or the better parts of it, in Bulgaria. But because they recorded a percentage in Israel, then they got funding.
Well, was it also in Hebrew though?
It was in Hebrew.
Okay, well that would be a little bit more lax too. So that's why with the Korean board, like you could film outside of the country, but as long as it was in Korean and had Korean actors, it would be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, it's different from country to country. Like the UK even has a stipulation like that too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So anyway, there was actually this gave a kind of an odd bit of copycats that came after it, because there were several big releases. That the biggest one was actually called Ek Villain. Yes, it's supposed to be pronounced. The villain is supposed to be pronounced in French. I know. I had to look it up because I had not seen it before. But it's actually an Indian film, which is it's weird. It's weird, but that's the way they pronounced it. Anyway, that's the biggest one. But that did so well in India.
Yeah.
But it was almost not a shot for shot remake. Just say it was heavily inspired by I Saw the Devil.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. This is actually not the the last bits, or this is not the first time that the director worked with not only the protagonist but the antagonist as well. So Hyun, which is played by Lee Byung-hun.
Nobody will remember.
He is, well, the protagonist. He is actually like well, you may know him because he's been in a lot of American films now.
Yes, he's been in
became a little bit of a star.
Red 2. I think most people would know him from Red 2.
He was in the G.I. Joe movies as well.
He was.
He did some action stuff.
I will never see those G.I. Joe movies, but
but what's also really funny about him was
he was also in Squid Games, but I won't say who he played.
Yes,
you know why? Exactly. Ling, have you seen Squid Games?
I have.
Okay, so you know who he plays. Don't say it, because I know people still haven't watched Squid Games, and if you say who he plays, it kind of messes up with the story.
Yeah,
I feel kind of silly because he looked familiar. So I do intake a lot.
That's why he looked familiar to you. But yeah, I think the first role I've seen him in was in Red 2, but maybe in something else that kind of
he was in a lot of like it was something like American Ninja or something like that. It was some early 2000s like a really bombastic action movie that wasn't very good, but that was supposed to be his like breakout role in America. Which oddly enough, do you realize that he and Choi Min-suk, the antagonist,
Yeah.
do you realize that they are only, I think they're 7 years apart. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Byung Lee, he's 51.
Oh, dude. I'm gonna say something racist, but these Asians do not fucking grow up. It,
Listen,
I
Asian
looked-
don't raisin.
Yeah.
It's literally, I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old. I'm 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
He looks
thank,
phenomenal for his age. And
thank God I'm a quarter Asian, baby.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Choi Min-suk is actually, he's 61 now. He was 50. He was 49 or 50 when he played when he
Oh
was
my
when they were
God.
filming this.
He does not. I want to
Wow.
put this up
Yeah.
on screen. I love this this comment by Biffer. Everyone's going crazy for the new Batman movie. I don't care because it does not compare to I Saw the Devil.
Yep.
Ooh.
I was
Which is another
supposed
thing
to
about it too.
watch
It's
the
it's like if
with my
Batman went
daughter.
wrong. That's what
I
it really.
I was supposed to go and watch Batman with my daughter either Friday or Saturday morning. Decided not to after looking at reviews and stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I did the right choice. I need to go and watch
Yeah,
it though.
yeah.
I don't mind
The-
about I don't mind about spoilers. So
yeah. The other thing
moving
I was
on.
going to say
We're
is
we're not going to touch the Batman tonight.
no. then
One day.
Choi Min-suk, who plays Kyung Chu, the killer.
The bad
For-
guy.
For
The
you, Meth. He was actually, he was an old boy, which
Yeah.
is not by the same director you think, but no, not all Korean revenge directors are the same.
I have no idea because I don't tend to watch a lot of Korean
But
thriller horror.
he was in another movie called The Quiet Family, which was oh boy.
Oh no! If you do that face, usually it's
That's a hell of another
terrible.
watch.
A
A movie that a Japanese director actually went to the Korean director and asked him, like, would it be okay if I adapted this into Japanese and made a version of it? And he allowed him to do it. It's called There's Something Wrong with the Takeshi Family. And
Hmm.
it's worse.
What?
It's worse
What?
in Japanese. I thought that competition was over a long time ago. So the Japanese went all crazy at early 2000s, and the Koreans were like, "Oh, you're what now?" Slap the dick on the table, and they're like the kings of horror and gore
Yeah.
ever since. Something like that. Yeah.
So then, the last note was oddly enough, it had a very, very small budget which I'm gonna gush over the cinematography in this movie because I think is Lee Mo-gai. He is the cinematographer for a lot of Kim's work, but I think this is one of his best works that he's done because every single shot, no matter how horrific, it's beautifully shot.
Yeah, for sure. And I would think not a lot of sets, maybe that kind of trimmed down the budget.
Very much so, but you realize this is only had a $6 million budget.
I can see that.
That's a
In
shoestring
2010,
budget.
I can see that. And
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
Korean
that's-
movie, dude, if you think about it, it's mostly puppets and blood that they spend money on.
Yeah,
I'm not
in a lot
joking.
of ways.
I'm not joking.
a lot of ways. But
There's-
it did actually overall.
We'll talk about the cinematography because that's
Yeah.
really interesting. And
No-
for me, I see how they didn't go overboard with the budget.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but overall, it did actually make 12.9 million gross just in the Korean box office.
Yeah.
And obviously, it didn't actually have an international release. It did debut at Sundance. and did very well at Sundance. Actually, it was considered one of the best films of Sundance that year, but it never got an actual American release. But it did get an American adaptation and release through Magnet Studios, which is kind of the version that we've all mostly seen.
Yeah. All right. We'll jump in to kind of the first scene, and we'll talk all the way up to the rolling head, because that was
no. What's important is not the rolling head. The what's important is Soo Hyun finally breaking down at the end. That's the important shot.
Well, we'll get to that. Anyway, so a lonely girl out trying to get a tow truck, and a strange man coming in to help her, which does not end well at all. No. Does not end at all. Tell me, Ling, when exactly did you see this coming?
The shot with her, looking at the steering wheel, and the blank dark space here. I was no.
You knew that was it. You knew that was
That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
To me, I kind of expected her to die, but in terms of like cinematically, they did like the old 80s horror movie do, where they turned up the screaming all the way up to 11. But it's not a screaming, it's like a high pitch sound, and it didn't, like, I did jump off my chair, but just because it was so damn loud in my ears, I literally jumped.
I think it was also kind of the how quiet the scene was beforehand, and then it got loud. Kind of like the contrast between the two. I'm easy to scare anyway, but I did jump too.
Yeah, I don't normally jump from any movies. I kind of expected her to get like a smack on the head or somewhere, but the high pitched sound really caught me off guard. Really caught me off guard. Now, just so you know, chat and everybody else, there is a there's a limit to what I can show on screen. So maximum
There's gonna be a lot of this movie
blood,
that we just can't show.
there's the maximum amount of blood that's about it that I can show, because technically, if you want to, you can actually watch this free on YouTube. It is of a lower quality, but I did put it up on one of the old TVs that I have. It's kind of converted to be a smart TV, but it's fine. It's even better.
Also, if you wanted to, you could.
It's even better than looking at it on the PC.
I was gonna say a lot of people could actually view it too. I said Ling, I sent you that Tubi link.
Yeah, through Tubi.
It's through Tubi. If you're not region shut off, I can't watch it on Tubi.
You were region locked for that one, yeah.
Yeah, I did have a copy, but it didn't have English subs. It had, I think it's German or Dutch subs. So and I couldn't get another copy legally.
But I was gonna say, what's just a little side fun bit is that actually is when Juyeon and Soohyun, the fiancés, they're having the conversation in there, and he's singing. He actually is singing because that actor, he was also a K-pop star at one point in time, Ling, if you didn't know that.
I was gonna say, I literally was telling Trey, I was like, yo, protagonist, he be over here looking like a shiny up in the 2010s.
Yep. He was a K-pop star in the early aughts.
Gen 1.
You see the translation? I think it's in either Saf can tell if it's Dutch. I think it's either Dutch or German.
I think
I'm not sure. OPJOU. I don't know this word. Never mind. But yeah. Moving right along.
It's Dutch.
It's Dutch. Yeah. See?
Yes.
See? I want to move forward. I know I'm skipping quite a bit.
Well,
Along
then
with
in between there is the murder where Khonshu
yeah,
does kill Juyon.
Yes.
And what's important about that scene is the fact that just how ruthless he is, because it sets it up immediately that this man is just a wanton psychopath. That's all he is.
yeah,
Mhm.
But what's of most import is the fact that if it were not for that one little ring,
Mhm.
yeah, that one little ring. I'm not so sure. To be fair, I'm not so sure. We'll get to that. So these guys are covering the thing. Somebody finds the head. They
Yep.
put it in a box, and this is where I got the only really shocking moment for me is the guy, the CSU or whatever, the guy wants to get it to the evidence truck,
Mhm.
and he gets hounded by the
it's
media,
Press.
paparazzi.
and
Yeah.
he literally falls, and the head pops out of the box, and it rolls just underneath the feet of the fiance, and like, ugh. But
Were you
as the
not also getting some kind of Seven vibes there?
yes,
What's
I
in the
was.
box? What's in the
It was
box?
literally what's in the box. And Ling, you've seen Seven, right?
Mm-mm.
Well, Seven is it's a David Fincher film from 1997 starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman and Gwyneth Paltrow. And it's
Yes.
one of
No,
David Fincher's like most renowned works before he did Fight Club. But it's all about the Seven killer. So it's all
yeah.
about the seven deadly sins. So he sets up
Mhm.
different everything. And at the end of the
Oh, okay.
movie, Brad
Don't
Pitt
say
is
the end of the movie. Hello.
well. I don't know if she's ever gonna watch it. We just spoiled the ending anyway.
Yeah.
No.
I don't care for spoilers. It's okay. I'm good. I promise.
Anyway, go watch it. It's pretty good. It's pretty
It's
good.
All
really
right,
good.
hold on.
It's
At
really
the
good.
ending, that'll make sense,
The
especially
ending
if
will
you've ever
make
seen
sense.
anything that like with anybody as what's in the bags, what's in the bags. That joke
I
will
feel
make a
like
lot
I've heard.
more sense now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But thinking about it, like watching it again, it's like, oh yeah, that moment kind of harkens to the end where the people he wanted to
Um.
see the O-ring head is the family
hmm
of the guy. And it kind
Yeah.
of it does
Okay.
what I love in movies. It does a setup and a payoff, and the setup and the payoff if they're good, it makes the movie so good because it respects the viewer. It takes the viewer on a ride where it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you do like a setup and 20 minutes later you got the payoff, or you got the setup, which is kind of, it's not an obvious one. And then it does something in the end where it's like, oh shit,
Ooh.
that's what he was going for
hmm
all along. And that is fucking
Mhm.
good. That's point to this movie. Yeah. So
Then they have one of the
I wanted
to
to
say
talk
what
about
would be
something.
next the most heartbreaking scenes I think in the entire film is the
Mm,
conversation between Soo Hyun and Chief Jang.
you're
Oh.
saying names and you expect me to know.
The father of the fiance and the fiance
And the
are sitting on the park bench together, and he's
Yes.
yep.
apologizing to him, and
Yes.
he's smoking. It's like,
Yep.
ooh, wait, oh my moniker, it makes sense now. Ow, my
Mhm.
feelings. Ah.
Exactly. And in that conversation, he is it in that bench he gives them all the four suspects, right?
No, that's after because
That
Mm-mm.
they have their park bench conversation.
Yep.
yeah.
Then they have the actual funeral where everyone is there, and there is a small conversation between Sohyun, which is our protagonist,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it is Siyun, who is actually the sister of
Yeah,
his dead
of
fiance.
his fiance.
Um, then when then after that, then there's the conversation actually at the house between
With the-
the father and Sohyun.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch upon one thing.
Mhm.
He was going to kill all 4 of these people, no matter
Oh
what.
yeah, he was like, yep,
Not
all these
kill.
4. All right, bam, 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 let's go. He was not asking any questions.
Well,
Nope.
not kill, but he's basically the unhinged version of Batman at this point, because you saw that in the first interaction that he had with the first suspect.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah. And that's why I think the ring.
so you give me the side there.
Yeah. I didn't
Huh.
think the ring was a sort of a done deal thing. I think he knew even before he found the ring that he found his man. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Well, it was after. Well, okay.
I think
Let's
the ring
get-
kind of
let's get-
drove
let's get-
him
let's get-
into
No, the first.
how insane
So
it is.
the first person that he gets is that man who actually did kill 2 children. He openly admitted to it.
Yeah.
But that's the man who had his testicles smashed in with a pipe wrench, which ow.
Yeah.
I think my hands were like this the whole time. I was like, all right, hold up.
Yeah.
Which, side note, I would love for you guys to at one point in time, Meth, if
No, I
when
won't.
we're-
I won't accept a pipe in my nuts. No.
no, not that. No, when we're in Manchester, I'll bring the unedited Blu-ray copy that I have
I would
of I Saw the
definitely
Devil.
not watch it.
No.
I would take it home.
Just so you can hear the English dub of it, because the English
Oh.
dub is by far one of the worst things ever. Because
Oh no.
you know, when the police chief O comes up and goes like, "So, that must hurt a lot, man. Who broke your balls?"
Oh,
like-
that's so cringy.
What?
That's so cringy.
And after he,
This one too, where it's like, also, he is again the unhinged version of Batman, because he did not even know that was the right guy before he
No.
ran into.
Yeah.
He started
I
going
know.
to town.
and then he smothered them with a piece of cord or something, with an electrical cord. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, this is the first half hour of the movie. This is the second guy, and
But
it
it's
was like,
also it's
he's about
fair-
to catch like the third guy because he was the
but
third one.
But it's so fair. It's fair to note though the fact that all of the people that he got were terrible people who,
Yeah.
in a way,
Yeah.
kind of deserved what they got.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But it was like, oh, he's executing all the suspects or
Mhm.
maiming them
Maiming them.
beyond
Terribly.
Yeah.
beyond
Yeah.
repair. And I was like,
Beyond repair is a good way to put it.
Yes.
beyond repair. So the next thing, he goes to the suspect's parents, and he finds out there's a kid as well.
Chung Chu.
So-
Yes.
And
Oh,
he
I would
kind of
say
finds out he's
just-
not
just
there.
real quick. There was another small instance where they did show Kyung Chun taking another victim,
Yes.
picking up the woman by the side of the road.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
and hitting her
I was
with a
like, girl,
pipe.
no, go
Yes.
up. I saw him reaching to the back, and I was like, no.
No. Hey, well, he said, "Do you know?" Well, he actually has the pipe and goes, "Do you know what this is?" No. It's just-
Great.
It's so weird because when that girl was there and he stopped and told her, "I'll take you," and she's like, no, and she still goes into the car. I was like, oh.
But it was after that kill, Ling. That's when he's combing his hair, and when he
Yes,
picks
and
up the guitar, that's when he's playing those opening chords that I told you of House of the Rising
Mhm.
Sun,
I was
where it's just
like-
like, ooh, that's chilling.
Mhm. It was the lack of compassion or regard for this other human life, right? He just bam, bam, all right, she's gone, whatever, dead. And like he was like so carefully doing his skincare routine and like relaxing with his guitar. Woo,
it just gives you more and more character on how psycho this guy is. Like
Mhm,
he is
mhm.
beyond. He is dedicated serial killer. It's beyond any approach, beyond any repair. I mean,
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah, I was going to go back real quick to what you were referring to also with that conversation between Soo-hyun and Kyung-chu's family.
Yeah.
He's under
yeah,
the guise
the
of being an insurance agent and setting them all up. His father knew what a piece of shit he was.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to. That's the kind of the thing I wanted. He talked to his mom, and his mom is sort of doing he's my baby, he's my kid.
He's very well.
She's really
she's
good.
a typical protective mother who's trying to be
and
woefully
the dad's
naive.
like, no, he's a piece of shit. We don't know him. We don't want to know him. Blah blah blah. He doesn't even get to meet his son.
Yeah.
And he goes outside and he sees the son, and the son also kind of knows his dad is. It's a real
not a good guy.
Yeah.
Not to what level, but more just kind of like a piece of shit, like deadbeat father.
Like
pretty much. Yeah.
Don't need my dad.
I can't show that. It's really hard.
Coming up
to
next, they
get
have
a shot.
and have basically what's sort of the initial breakdown of when So-hyun goes to Kyung-chi's house, where his son, Kyung-chi's son, tells him, like, this is where my father lives. When he breaks in, the first thing that he breaks open, the filing cabinet,
it's the mementos,
all of the purses.
Yeah. And then all the shoes, and then all the bras.
All bras.
Yeah. All the mementos, which is typical for
serial killer. Keeping a memento or anything like that.
I mean, Ling, how did you feel when he broke up on that thing and you saw lots of purses? It's like,
so I watched the Ted Bundy movie a little while ago, and it kind of gave me those same vibes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if this is also me kind of like overthinking into this too, but I felt like the camera. I don't know if this is important or not. If I was 1:00 at night, I'm like, I think this is important, but the camera kind of focused in on the lock number 264. So I don't know if that is an importance to anything, because I think the number 63 shows up, and then the number 60 is also in the shows in the film as well. So I was like, does this mean anything? I don't know.
I actually didn't notice it.
Somebody's really smart.
Oh snap!
I didn't notice it, but okay.
I saw that. I was like, I don't know if it means anything. I wrote it down, but
it's a callback to Kim's other films.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, these damn directors. So,
brava, girl.
Yay!
I don't sit down and watch movies.
I don't.
But when she does, she knows exactly.
When she does, she watches movies.
I watch.
But there's the main setup to this was when So-hyun is back there and he finds the ring. He's like, okay, I now know this is the man that killed her. Yeah. Now I know what to do. And you notice the fourth suspect really doesn't come up, but he actually does.
He does, because the fourth suspect is the guy he runs off to at the end. Not the end.
No.
The other serial killer, right?
That's not Taeju. No.
No, really?
I'll tell you who it is. I'll tell you who it is.
Okay.
We're going to get to him. We're going to get to him.
You know, that's a great segue, because we're going to do our first segment of the night. Let me just set this up.
Ling's favorite.
Ling's favorite.
Oh no, here we go.
Ling's, it's everybody's favorite, I think, because it's time to torture our guest with knowledge. Oh shit, of course.
You got to play your stinger.
Think about what it is.
The first one too.
The first segment of the night is, of course, Missing Marquee. What is Missing Marquee? For those of you who are uninitiated, Missing Marquee is where we take 10 posters, we have their text written off, and of course our guest and the chat will guess what movie this is. I got you a good head start, guys. So
I didn't know what it is. I didn't know what it is. It's a great movie. It's really good.
It's really good. We kind of mentioned it before in other podcasts. This movie kind of brought back Robert Downey Jr.
Oh.
Yes, it did. It was right before he got Iron
It
Man.
was this, and it was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Bang Bang.
Sort of
Yeah,
roughly around the
that's
same.
a good movie
year.
too.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it's Scanner Darkly.
It is. Next. So tell us who's the big head?
He's
Right?
an actor.
Who's the small head?
Yes.
He's another actor,
do
probably
you want
of
me to
some
punch?
prominence.
Yeah, I'll punch it.
It's John Travolta.
Am I
Samuel
supposed
L.
to know
Jackson.
this actor?
Yes, it's Nick Fury.
It's Samuel L. Jackson. Yes.
It's Samuel L. Jackson, and it's John Travolta. I know you
Okay.
know what it is. You want to tell us? The chat is
No, I'm gonna wait for Biffer.
very
like, chat.
quiet. Very
I
quiet.
took the first
chat.
one away from Biffer, so I'm away for Biffer.
Scanner. You got Scanner Darkly.
Yeah, I know.
It's
right.
not the interrogator.
Gator.
Give us the movie. Come on, you know what this is.
I actually don't remember what it is.
Really? Oh, I'll wait for Biffer then. I'll wait for Biffer. It
No,
is-
I have seen it. It's not. It's not.
Oh,
a
you've
good
seen it. You've definitely seen it.
It is.
It's an army movie. It is about
No
interrogation.
Question mark?
It is, of course, Basic.
Basic. Okay.
Nope.
You know
That's
what
what
this
I do
be-
know.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know you know.
It's Tarantino's worst filming. Well,
Okay,
second worst film.
is it Quentin Tarantino? It kind of
Yeah.
looks
It is
like it.
Quentin Tarantino. Yes.
Okay, I knew that much.
It was his Grindhouse movie.
Oh God, Trey loves Quentin Tarantino movies, and I don't remember. It's not The Hateful Eight.
It's not
No.
the Hateful Eight. No, it is not the Hateful Eight.
It's not Kill Bill.
It's not Kill Bill.
Look, I'm remembering these movies. Dang. Okay, hold up. I know these movie names.
It stars Kurt Russell, and it's not the Hateful Eight.
It was actually Kurt Russell's renaissance, actually, in the late aughts. They kind of
I
brought him
don't-
back for a couple films.
Death Proof.
Nope.
Yep.
There we go.
It's a bad movie.
I'll give you a head start. It's not Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you're gonna have to be way more fucking specific than that.
What is this? Is it? It's not 300.
It's not 300. Good guess, though.
That's a different kind of story.
Okay.
Is
Right.
that the 13th Warrior?
It's not the 13th
Sure.
Warrior, although that is a good guess.
Was that?
It
God,
is actually, Saf. It is Arthur.
Arthur.
Oh.
Was that the new one?
The new one, yeah.
Oh, Charlie
With-
Hunnam. Oh,
with
that movie
Keira
was
Knightley.
awful.
With Keira Knightley and what's his face from Closure?
From Close at Clive Owen.
Clive Owen, the guy I
Yeah.
wanted to play fucking
Bond, yeah.
instead of Daniel Craig.
Now, this is an Akira Kurosawa film,
This
which
is an Akira Kurosawa film.
which I know that right now Ling's like, I have no idea.
What is that? Yes, there are words.
Is it safe to say that Akira Kurosawa is Japan's greatest film director of all time?
Up there.
It's up
He's
there.
up. He's up there. He's definitely up there.
All right, chat is at a loss. I can see
This should be 47 Ronin, if I'm not mistaken.
it's not 47 Ronin.
Oh, Seven Samurai.
Samurai.
Seven Samurai.
Samurai.
It's not the seventh samurai. It's seven samurai.
Samurai.
Ocean 12.
No.
For some odd reason, I want to say Speed 2. I'm
It's
on a
not
boat.
Speed 2.
On a boat.
Well, I know it wasn't Speed 2 because Bruce Willis wasn't in Speed 2.
It's not Siege. It's not Pay.
What?
Not Ozul.
He's just gonna start just
start rattling off.
scrolling off Bruce Willis films at this point.
He played a cop who's did something, and then he kind of got demoted.
Wow, Bruce Willis playing a cop who did something bad.
He was a cop in Pittsburgh, and there was something that happened, and then he went to be like a Coast Guard cop. And Sarah Jessica Parker was his female protagonist. And she should have been. Never mind. No, nobody knows. This is Striking Distance.
Never.
By the way, the Hebrew
heard
name
of
is
it.
completely different.
They
Matt
look
Damon.
slightly familiar. Okay, that's
Matt
fine.
Damon.
That's Matt Damon, and the other one is Heath Ledger.
My dumbass almost said Shia LaBeouf.
Is this
No.
the Brothers Grimm?
It is the Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, that's not a good movie either. Oh God!
I hate this movie with a passion.
It's not good.
Are there memes with this movie?
Not that I remember.
Not really. I want to get this over with. It's the Man in the Iron Mask.
It is the Man in the
Yeah,
Iron Mask.
like that.
Saf got it as well.
It's not a good movie, Saf.
Another Bruce Willis movie. Also, Denzel Washington movie.
Oh,
It's about a
Dang,
dirty
I lost.
bomb.
do you know that Denzel
Saf,
Washington is actually a
please.
junior?
Saf, please tell Meph to never use that inflection ever again.
Dirty bomb.
It's about a dirty bomb.
It's about a dirty bomb.
See, you made it sound sexual before. Now you made it Russian.
According to the poster, you should know this is pre 9/11.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How do you? Is
I
it
think this
three
is-
words?
No, it's 2 words.
Where do you
Now,
put
see, I
them?
thought this was Clear and Present Danger, but no, I was wrong then.
It's not Clear and Present Danger. That's Harrison Ford.
Ford, yeah.
It's not The Inside Man. Oh, we got some doozies this week. Oh, so
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah, because you're picking a lot of
like the
movies that are
movie.
really bad.
It is called The Siege. Last
See,
week,
you should have got that before because they said it before, and
He
this
did
one
say it
everybody
before.
should know
I
because
did
it's
say I was
clank,
waiting for
clank,
him to say it again,
clank.
but
clang.
by the way, just so you know, this movie is old, and this is definitely not John Cena.
Yes. Boop, 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 boop. Ling, just put it this way.
Can't see him. Can't see him.
They want them to come out to play.
It's not.
Think clank, clank, clank.
Oh, you will never guess this.
It's
Chat is stomped.
It's the Warriors.
It's the Warriors.
It's such a good movie.
Okay. Oh yeah, we got.
Biff forgot it
Someone
too.
got it.
Biff forgot it too.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
It's the Warriors. Cool, but I like it. You
The
do you
chicks
not-
are strapped, man. The chicks are strapped.
Did you not see the John Cena in his face? That was awesome, man.
That there are a lot of actually very famous actors in the Warriors before they got their start. Like that was one of their
Ooh.
first films that they had.
I haven't
been in
watched it
as
in
extras
so fucking
or
long.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A lot of character actors were in that too, as the start of their character acting career. Oddly enough, the one that isn't Meth that we thought would be as a character actor. Joey Pants actually isn't in that movie.
Okay. So
Think of most of the other character actors from the late 90s to mid 2000s. They were in the Warriors at some point.
really, I really
Yeah.
should check that out. All right, cool. I like this scene. I love this scene. This is so fucking fucked up. This scene is messed
Bro.
up beyond
Well,
fucking
we
belief.
did skip over the first encounter between the protagonist and the antagonist, which is really important because essentially what happens is the noose was already tightened around Kyung-chu, the antagonist, who is sitting in the passenger side of the taxi
with a hat.
Yes, because they already knew that the cops were already onto him. He had already driven away with just an entire van full of school children, which how he got that job to begin with, they were beyond me.
And of course, he got one of them
because she fell asleep in the back seat.
Yep.
And he's about to do something terrible. Go ahead. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you guys haven't played Sifu yet, that hole in the greenhouse area literally looked like a boss battle from Sifu, and I was like, where's Soo-yeon? Where's Soo-yeon?
Well, again, that entire how the emo guy, his cinematography in that oh god, it's beautiful,
dude. The shots in that particular scene where he kind of I hear somebody and he's picking up the scythe and he's ready, like pulls out his fucking knife. Everything in that scene is fucking awesome. And then when they fight, you see the girl kind of peeks from around one of the bales of hay. Oh, dude, cinematically, this movie is fucking awesome. This movie is really good.
It's gorgeous.
That's why I wanted to go skip to this, because we're gonna go deep in tonight rather than making everything short. Because in this scene where he finds the taxi,
I was
taxi.
just gonna say though, what's important to cover about that is the fact that he
puts the tracker on him.
Well, but the whole thing was he could have been over right then and there.
Yeah.
But that's when he realized that no, he hasn't suffered enough. I had promised Ju-young, his dead fiance, that I was going to make him suffer for the pain that she felt.
And he lets him go, but he puts a tracker up his ass.
No, he puts it in his mouth. Swallows it.
Oh, that's right, because he just because he was foaming.
Yeah, well, I prefer to think about it as in his ass.
Well, it goes out the other way later.
Yeah, it gets there eventually.
Yeah, but he wakes up.
He wakes up with a stack full of cash.
Yeah, with a stack full of cash. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And does the first thing that he says is, "Oh my god, what a psycho."
Yeah,
I literally had that written. Like, how ironic of this bitch. Wait, can I say that?
The pot will call the kettle black.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes to the car, and in the car, he's been driving by an annoying fucking taxi driver. Which, if you ever been in a taxi, you probably fucking met a guy like that. I know I've met one.
Yep.
One-star Uber driver.
Then it cuts to the guy at the back that has a dirty fucking look. And from that moment, I was like, something is going to go down in this place.
That was number 4.
That was number 4?
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, 4? I think that was the fourth suspect.
Yeah.
Again, watched it twice. Went over my head.
So all of the suspects.
I was looking at so many different things. I was looking at this in so many different ways and angles. I totally missed that. But okay, that was the 4th suspect. And then the antagonist looks at the front and he sees the cue card, the taxi driver cue card. And as soon as I see the picture, I was like, holy shit. These two other guys are they just killed the guy. They just killed the taxi driver. And they dumped him, or they just stole a taxi, basically.
Mhm.
Well,
I
and
didn't
it's
think they
also-
killed him. I just
could
thought they
tell-
stole it.
But you could tell with Kyung-chu's his mentality as a killer, he could spot his own.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mhm.
And he starts stabbing a motherfucker during the ride. And
They
I was
just-
like,
that was
how
like,
come
you know,
this car isn't crashing now?
It was brutal.
It was like Call of Duty when you just have the knife fight.
Yeah. It was splattering all over the place and people getting shanked.
Well, the first thing he does is he stabs him directly in the jugular.
Yeah.
And the blood just...
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was, let's just say, I wonder what's in the RRXXXXXX version. Holy shit. But yeah,
I can show you sometime.
we're about due just in a few months, dude. In a few months. But because he has money, he goes to take care of his arm at a doctor's place. And of course,
This poor guy.
he wreaks havoc on all of these all of that office is getting
that old man-
goddamn killed or stabbed.
Well, in a way, they always say that a serial killer has some kind of ill intent toward some parental figure. You can clearly tell Kyung Chun's is against his father.
His
Because
dad.
with this, always saying, because he's always against an elderly man.
Yeah. And he kills quite a bunch of elderly men. Like he kills the protagonist's would-be father-in-law. He kills this guy. He kills the pharmacist.
He doesn't kill this guy. He doesn't kill this guy.
He gets close.
He was about to kill him.
Like, I'm this close.
Anyway, he kills a bunch of old guys, and every time he's about to perform a devious act on a woman, from the time both the antagonist and the protagonist meet, he can't fulfill the job until the tables get turned and the fiance's sister gets it.
Yeah.
But
what's really interesting
too, the guy is able to save all those women
in
every single point.
Yeah. What's really interesting too, especially about this scene, is which Ling, you saw the Ted Bundy film too,
yes.
Is it's a very common trait. It's part of what they call the dark triangle, is the way to be considered ineffable and almost invisible in a way. So where you are completely off-putting to someone until you want to strike, until you want to be volatile. And it's the same way that Kyung Chu is. Because even with his conversation with the doctor, he doesn't show menace until he wants to show menace. With the nurse, he's even kind of charming, just joking around a little bit.
Yeah, and then
you're so cute. Oh look, you're so cute. You must have a bunch of boyfriends.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna break all this glass and
get undressed, woman. Yeah. He mentally tortures her.
Yes.
And then just at the very end where this is going to be like this graping real grape, the protagonist shows up, and dude, if he would have hit him once with that fire extinguisher, this guy's face would have caved in.
Yeah. Well, and then we're gonna get to probably, I think, was one of the hardest scenes to watch, is when he grabs his foot, pulls his shoe off, pulls the sock off, and then tells the nurse, "Shut your eyes and look away.
Close your ears, look away." Yep.
Rips open his Achilles tendon.
Achilles.
That was.
It doesn't matter how quick of a fix you could possibly have or what doctor you went to, that there is absolutely no way he would have been able to walk.
No.
At all.
No. You can't. If you get that severed, sadly, you can't get it attached properly. Not properly. You will be at the very least limping for the rest of your life.
You're
Yeah.
And he still lets him go.
Yep.
And at
He
this
wasn't done
point,
yet.
if you're watching this for the first time, they let him go. He lets him go, and I was like, "Oh, he really wants him to suffer." Now, my initial thought was, "Wait, first he severed his wrist, then he
broke it,
severed
yeah.
his Achilles tendon," and I was like, "Okay, is it like Princess Bride? It's to the pain. First, I will take you by the wrists, then I will cut your arms by the feet."
Wait, isn't that a reference that that Kyung-Chul has?
Kyung-Choo and Taeju, they both do. When he goes to the cannibal, Taeju is like, what was it, right?
Yeah,
it was always hands, feet, then head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't!
Okay.
Proud of you, girl.
Yes. Exactly.
Something was moving up in this noggin.
And the fun, I was gonna say the whatever he does to toy with him, I didn't understand if it was for fun or for whatever purpose, maybe revenge. And the first thing that popped in my head after that was, oh, the protagonist is Dexter. He's a psychopath that does some sort of a police work, but also in his spare time, he is an absolute serial killer in disguise, but not really. Where Dexter was a serial killer, our protagonist was not, but he had
the serial killer
dark side. He had a serious dark side.
And what's funny too is when Kyung-Choo wakes up, what's the first thing he does? Starts looking around the car, start looking around everything to find out how So-hyun is finding him. Because how the hell could he have found me?
Yeah.
But he doesn't realize. Well, the capsule thing he doesn't realize yet. And then when he pulls over the taxi halfway through, and he starts trying to flag down a new car. When the entire when the Korean Army Battalion he goes, nope. I'm taking this one on foot.
Yeah. So he goes to his friend, and we kind of learn that they have some sort of a psycho brotherhood.
It's Taeju is the guy, and Sujung is the girlfriend.
The girl, yeah.
So by the way, when he was eating meat, and he finished the lunch, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna go prepare breakfast.
My next meal."
Oh, he's definitely chopping a motherfucker right now.
That's when
I
he's even
knew that was coming. I knew that
conversation where he even mentions it. Kyung-Choo does when they're eating. Goes, you really have to stop eating that. Eating those people is making you crazy.
Yeah. And I didn't get that in my translation.
Yeah, and they even have that little bit of apprehension where Taeju questions him, and Kyung-Choo checks him real fast.
Yeah,
and he looks at him, and there's that moment of tension between the two. And Taeju, the cannibal, when he's eating, he goes, "Yeah, you must be right."
But he does say,
"It's so good, it's driving me crazy. Why do I tear up when I get tense?" He's terrified.
The thing is, he does tell him something that we as viewers kind of realize, that the guy who does this to him, that basically the protagonist, is on the hunt. This is where I kind of thought, well, this is like Dexter. Dexter is the same thing. He goes out and kills bad people because he loves The hunt.
The hunt.
Yeah.
Well, it's more of the concept where Taeju flat out just states the
Yeah, he
entire
says it.
state of affairs, and so you gotta remember that So Hyun is listening to that too because he can hear everything with the
Oh, that's
castle.
right, because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
So he's listening to Taeju's like, you don't realize what monster you created. And isn't that really funny? He's starting to enjoy this. He's starting to
Yes.
enjoy hunting you.
And
yeah.
that's what made me think about Dexter. And I was like, dude, this is, I don't know where this is going to go at this point, but I know
Yes.
how Dexter does it. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing. And of course, it's not. But
It's so I kind of viewed Soohyun, the protagonist. Do you guys know anything about how Komodo dragons hunt?
Mhm.
It's
no, enlighten me.
it's if I remember correctly, they're the type of animals where they don't kill right off the bat. They have like venom and poison that they insert into prey, and they
Yeah.
basically just wait. They just hang around, follow it until bunch is ready. So that kind of felt like what Soohyun was doing. All right, got my shit in him. I'm a watch, and that's the whole ride. I think this is like by the midway point of the movie too. I was so
Yes.
tense the whole time. I was like, it's got to be over by now, right? And I'd go and check like the bar to see how much was left. Like we've only been watching this for half an hour, an hour.
Yeah,
What more
I
could
had
there
that
be?
too. I had that too about the 45-minute mark.
Yes, the 40.
I was like,
I was like, what
is he
else is
gonna
there?
kill him? What is he gonna do? Because he already catched him, and there's a 2.5 hour movie, and we're at the 40-minute mark. And what the fuck is gonna happen? Oh, this is gonna happen. This is exactly what's gonna happen.
That's
Basically, the
That's where
protagonist saves
the
another girl from
Yeah.
another serial killer that has
Yup.
basically nothing to do with
do with it, yeah. It's like
with
an
the revenge
ancillary
thing.
character. But what's funny is this is what the remark about the head's feet then head.
yes.
Yes.
That's where Teju first remarks about that where when he's about to kill
Yeah,
that girl.
he says it to
Stops
the girl,
He
right?
stops the move he stops the Soo-hyun stops the music, and then
Mhm.
when he gets Teju with a screwdriver in the
Yeah.
hand,
Yep.
and then the other hand pulled around the collar around his neck, pulled back, and he's about to cut his hand off. He goes, "So what was that you said again?"
Yeah.
Hands,
Ooh.
feet, and head.
Mhm.
And he's about to cut
Mhm.
off his hand, and then we get a surprise visitor.
Yeah, surprise visitor. Now, there's a moment there that I thought didn't really belong.
Yeah,
Please tell me, when he was fucking this guy's girlfriend while the guy was off doing the chopping, that had no impact on the story whatsoever. What was that for?
it's
It's
okay.
the only thing. It's the
I can
only thing. Not that I don't enjoy a good fucking sex scene, but the only thing that was out of place.
I
It
think
it's the thing in this movie I could have cut away and it had no impact on the story.
so. I was trying to figure out because I think the only revenge film I've seen is like John Wick, but I
Okay.
was trying to figure out like if there was a formula or like how the pieces were fitting together. And from what I have written, what I'm speculating is that like a point of revenge films is to make like bad guy as like disgusting and like as horrid and like as bad as possible so that the like you were saying the payoff at the end
Yeah.
is better because he's they're just stacking more and more bad things. So once the revenge happens, it feels better. So I feel like that might be the only like additive to that.
Again,
Perhaps.
he's not raping her. She
No.
was there. She was a willing partner to all this.
That's the difference, because that's the dichotomy of the relationship between Taeju and Kyungju that you can pick up even when that conversation when there even is that bit of tension. Taeju immediately is the first one to back down. It's all about what
Yeah.
dominance and power. And what is rape really all up? Sorry, grape. Sorry, don't you mean to use the R word? But that's
Grape,
what
grape.
really, that's what it's all about, is dominance and power.
Yeah.
So in a way, Kung Chu is again establishing himself as the dominant person, even in his own interpersonal relationship with these other psychopaths.
I would say okay, and that kind of reflects on this. I'm dominating you, so your girlfriend is basically at my disposal. But again, there's no impact. You could have done the same thing, cut away the sex scene. It's like 2 minutes. It's not a big deal. Could have cut it away, and you wouldn't lose a beat in this movie whatsoever.
Not really. It was just more trying to overemphasize, because like you're obviously getting the entire theme of the scene is wanton excess on a certain level, and that's what it's all about, just showing the absolute extreme of that version of this a dominant relationship.
So we do get a fight upstairs, and it kind of looks for a minute
I was gonna
there.
say, the only other thing that's really funny, there's only actually one scene that will actually make you laugh out loud in this entire movie. It's when Teju is trying to remove the screwdriver from his hand.
Oh
and
God!
The hand goes,
And then just
Yeah, I laughed too.
It's funny.
I
You go
laughed
like,
too. But the thing is, you kind of realize what he realizes, that he would need to literally lift his arm, his hand. Is like, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
But still, that pop noise, and this is like, ah!
Oh shit! I want to show this, but I
It's
can't.
so funny.
I will say that fight scene though, the hooks that Soo-yeon used as cow props, genius idea. Like,
it's I think it comes from the kind of, it shows the training that this guy has, because is he like a Secret Service type dude? That's what I thought.
Technically, yes. Yeah,
I
it's like
don't
the
think
Korean.
they actually say.
yeah, I think they said like secret agent.
He's part of the National Intelligence Service in Korea.
Yeah.
So he's
way there,
well trained, well versed in sort of combat tactics. So it's not out of place that he did that. But Snake Eyes, did he play Snake Eyes?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely not watching.
He was in the G.I. Joe movies.
Definitely not watching those.
They're not good.
So he leaves everybody alive, basically, right? Teju is alive. He gets carried out. His girlfriend, he knocks her the fuck out. I was surprised. She surprised him with she nicks him in his shoulder. He turns around and he like full on right hook into the face.
Like a good old
blows her out. Like
the button right there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Surprise, surprise. Can't do that anymore. Or you can, unless like your career or something. Yeah, he knocks her out. So these two are left alive because he needs them. He still needs them for information, but
no, he doesn't need them for information. Technically, what he does is the fact that he actually never killed anyone throughout his entire exploits. He does maim them.
He maims them. Yeah,
he hurts them almost irreparably, but he does not kill them. So in a way, that's why I told you before, Matt, when watched, it's like a Korean version of Batman. If Batman decided, you know what, moral scruples aren't my thing.
Well, Batman doesn't kill either, unless it's, I don't know, killing.
Yeah, but in comic books, like he can horrifically just beat someone, but they'll be fine the next day, because that's comic book. logic.
Snake Eyes is Ray Parks, I'm told.
No, it's the other guy. Then it's
Then he
Storm
doesn't play.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Storm Shadow. That's the other one.
Yeah.
The guy in the white suit, right?
Yeah,
The
Storm
white
Shadow.
ninja.
Yeah.
All I know is I had G.I. Joes and I had both Snake Eyes and the White Ninja, and I never knew their names.
Wait, wasn't Ray Parks? Wait, no, I thought he was. Wasn't he Destro? I'm thinking of the other different Ray. Never mind.
It's
Doesn't matter.
G.I. Joe. Does it really matter?
Movie. Let's move on.
Exactly. So at this point, he's like, he goes to, make sure he's okay and make sure his antagonist actually survives because
I'm saying so.
hit
Like
him
he
over
meets
the
his.
head.
assistant over here with his big old mouth.
Well, it's like, and also he meets his former, boy band
Yeah.
mate.
It is?
That hair, come on,
Oh, wow.
man.
It's a hair. It's a first gen K-pop hair. That's what everybody had.
Well, yeah, but he's also
Isn't
supposed
he
to be a
missing, like-
National Intelligence Service agent.
Yeah, you're right.
Isn't he missing like a different color or something? Like red or
Oh, yeah,
blonde
sometimes we
or-
go for the dark concepts. This is obviously a dark concept.
me and
But no,
Kate,
it was the whole thing where
really.
when they're discussing it, where it's like, shut your fucking mouth. Oh my god.
Why are you
Shut the
saying
fuck
all
up.
this?
Yeah. And I like the
don't
fact that
worry, he can't hear us.
anyway, when
Anyway,
This
so
guy-
Kung Chiu overhears about the capsule and the fact that it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the only way he's gonna get rid of it if he has diarrhea. So I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I guess I'm gonna go and have to ship myself.
Mm-hmm.
and when he gets up, he's still laughing because he is, oh, I can't believe he released me again.
Again.
I am going to kill this motherfucker. Or at least that's the idea. Or make
No,
him
he's like, well,
suffer.
actually, you know what? I'm gonna have my version
Yeah.
of revenge.
It's my time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my time. And he goes to a pharmacy, gets a load of
Yep.
diarrhea pills, kills the fucking pharmacist because, role model.
Because, yeah,
And
he's
by the way, we haven't really discussed the incompetent police.
Yeah. Well,
They
that also
are-
the entire
they
time
are
too. Again, Sap is
Mega
right.
incompetent.
Well, that Kyung Chu now he knows that the capsule's inside him and he can hear him, so he's
Yeah.
mocking him the whole time by talking out loud. Like,
Yeah.
oh, and by the way, he better get to this pharmacy because he's gonna die if you don't get
he's
here
gonna
fast.
die. Oh
Yeah.
no.
And how about the incompetent fucking police?
Yeah, I know.
They are so bad. They are so bad.
They're-
They're literally just sitting around at a hospital or sitting around at the station
Yeah.
or oh, by the way, I thought the is it he's like the chief detective or something. He's not the chief of police, right? He's right above me.
That is the
There's
actual
a
current.
scene where he goes home and his
Yeah.
daughter leaves and they have sort of a shouting match because he knows what's lurking in the shadows. And she's like, I'm going to take a ride. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When are you going to come back? I don't know. Whenever. It's like, oh.
Bro.
He knows what's out there. He knows what's going on, and he can't say anything because he doesn't want to alarm the entire fucking building. But didn't you notice they're super incompetent?
Oh yeah.
So annoying. It was so annoying.
Yeah. Woof.
Which, woo, yeah.
Maybe that's not for YouTube.
That's the one you should show on YouTube.
Just kind of black and white. It'll be okay.
So that's the other guy. That's
That's
Yeah.
Taeju.
that's a
Yeah.
cannibal guy.
Yeah.
He goes out and interrogate him. Yeah, it's definitely not YouTube. Okay, well,
Yeah.
shit.
Oops.
Well, there's very little blood. Let's just say
Yes. It's just a little tear. That's all.
that. A little tear.
But no, what he asked Taeju's like, well, now that the capsule's going to be gone, because he does use a laxative. He ends up again, poor bystander. A guy's just going in to use the bathroom, gets jumped by Choo.
Yeah, he literally was like,
And
"Yep,
he
nope,
gets
you're in my way."
force-fed yeah.
No,
And
which
he
is the
force-fed
grossest thing is
Bill.
the fact that he takes the capsule and puts it down his throat.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So our protagonist goes and interrogates the poor guy, and he does tell him, "Oh, when the tables are turned, you have no idea because
You messed
Yeah,
with the wrong
he
person, man.
messed with the
yeah.
wrong guy." So he opens his mouth and breaks his fucking jaw.
He was like,
Why
"Oh,
not?
you think that's funny? You think it's funny? I'm gonna make it so you smile forever." That's
And
So Hyun's line.
it it also is kind of a I don't know if it's clever, but the whole him being a cannibal and like eating was his thing, and the fact that his mouth was the thing that got
Yeah.
messed
Yeah,
up.
I
It's like,
thought that too.
oh, oh,
Exactly.
Mhm.
So he goes to the guy's would-be father-in-law,
Mhm.
and he casually, you don't see him kill him, but he's like casually in the house and he's twirling his
Oh,
bloody knife.
yes you do.
Oh, is it you?
You?
Yeah, I was gonna say he.
I kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
maybe,
do.
maybe I
Oh,
missed that.
it's very explicit. Yes, you do.
Okay, maybe I missed that. Maybe my kids called me for 2 minutes. Maybe.
Well, they have a
I kind of
well. He was walking around the house, and he has a drink from the fridge, and
Mhm.
he waits for him. Like the old man is home.
Mhm.
Then he uses a weight to bash his face in.
yeah, that one I caught, but when he goes out of the room, he's casually twirling his fucking bloody
Yep.
knife,
Yeah.
and then he goes back to give him a big stomp on his fucking orbital bone.
Well, because
Ugh.
also if you think of it too, back to his entire kind of his modus operandi, some of the triggers that set off Kyung Chung as a killer, it's the elderly man that
Yeah.
has a family and everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because how he hates his father and his father hates him, which is clear. Then his interaction with the elderly doctor, and then
Mhm.
the interaction now with Chief Jang, because he was the former retired police officer. That's the reason why he was able to get the documentation to So
Yep.
Hyun at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But no, when he showed him the picture and goes, "Looks nothing like you. It's a good thing you look like her."
Yeah.
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 It's sort
He's
of
Man's was
like
spiteful.
it's sort of taking the thumb and pressing on
Just
on
like,
an open wound. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And of course, just before we go to our last
Then
segment, again,
Man.
Seyun, yeah.
this doesn't make the cut, but does. Never mind. I was trying to sound cute. As soon as I saw this, and as she came in the house, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's dead.
Oh no, she's
And she's graped and dead, and
Mhm.
he'll know only after that happened."
Only after, man, if I was thinking as well, like if I were in these situations, what would I be doing? And I don't know if something's wrong. I'm out that door. I'm like, I don't want to. Hey, is there no running out, going to a neighbor, calling somebody like, hey, something sus. Come hang out with me. Come. She's just.
I want to say yes, but odds are no. Sorry. I mean, that's how stuff happens. All right, cool. We're going to jump into our next segment, and this one is chat participation and Ling's most appreciated. This is, of course, Screen Fighter.
Round 1. Fight.
What is Screen Fighter? Screen Fighter is where we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the two, either they're both good or they're both bad, we fall to our criteria, which is in a vacuum, Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two choices in front of us. Which one will we pick? And I will do this and this and that, which I have prepared. Oh, don't
I
start with
don't
me.
know.
Don't start with me. Here we go, and we'll put us on the
Ooh.
side just to have some
That's
fun.
good. That's a good
right.
pairing.
You know how they say you
Alright.
shouldn't be judging books by their cover? I'm gonna absolutely do that today.
Okay. It is Robert De Niro's Raging Bull versus Eddie Murphy's Beverly Hills Cop.
I like Eddie Murphy. My vote would be for Beverly Hills.
Okay. Feelings?
Raging Bull. It's one of the best boxing films ever made.
Correct, sir. But this one goes to
Yes.
Eddie
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop
Murphy.
is good though. Beverly Hills Cop is a good movie.
Talladega Nights versus My Girl.
Where Macaulay Culkin gets killed by bees.
Yes.
Yes, that happens in My Girl.
When My Girl came out, people were fucking fuming because it's the fucking Home Alone kid that is his next
It's
movie.
right after Home Alone. This is the next film that he made, and he everything was fine until the very end of the last 10 minutes of the movie. He gets stung by bees, and he's allergic to bees, and he dies. And that's the end of the movie. Is the funeral? It's like the
what?
fuck.
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes. The movie itself,
That's
It's
I'll
all
just say that.
right.
it's all right.
I'm gonna
It's
go.
all right.
I'm gonna go with Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Talladega Nights.
I'm
Just
gonna go with
because of the
Talladega Nights
memes,
also.
just for
I
the
like-
memes.
Yeah,
The final cut,
which
is
was almost on the
better-
Robert Williams.
It was almost in the Robin Williams
Retrospective, yeah.
month that we're planning. And $1 Million Baby. I'm going to
Baby.
go with final cut. It is disturbingly good.
Yeah.
It's disturbingly good.
I feel like I've heard of $1 Million Baby, but I haven't seen either of these. Surprise!
It's an award-winning Oscar movie, but it
Yeah,
has a mega flaw about it.
It has a giant.
It has a mega flaw in it.
They fridged the main character.
It literally sets you up. It brings you up, and then it takes you and literally breaks your neck.
Because it breaks her neck. She falls over and her neck hits a stool and she dies. It's like, well, she's in a coma.
She doesn't die.
But-
She's
The
chat.
She was in
The
a vegetative
chat
state.
says $1 Million Baby. Feelings?
Yeah.
I would watch the final cut any day of the week.
Ling?
I'm gonna say $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby. It is overruled by the chat and the guest. Jarhead or
This is on you.
Demolition Man. This is very
Well, one of these films we reviewed, and
the
we
other
both
one
actually
has
still
Jake
enjoyed it.
Gyllenhaal in it.
Yeah.
Hey, dude,
I love me some Jake
Jarhead is
Gyllenhaal.
Jarhead is not that bad.
No, because isn't Jamie Foxx in Jarhead
I think so.
too? Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Jarhead is not that bad. It has a bad rap. That's what I know. I saw it. I kind of liked it. I think I've seen it twice in my life. It's about basically a Marine deployed in, I think it's the first Desert Storm,
Mm-hmm.
first Iraqi War.
Yeah.
And Demolition Man. What can I say?
It's just Demolition
just-
Man.
It looks like Demolition Man.
It's up to you, Link. If you haven't seen these, that's okay.
No, I haven't seen them, so
I
feel
would
like-
say I would say you would actually, I think, really enjoy Demolition Man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
ask Trey about
Mhm.
Demolition Man, he'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch that later."
I'm
Let's
gonna
put
on
it
the
this way.
TV and watch it.
The haute cuisine Ling in Demolition Man in the far future is Taco Bell.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's
Tiny plate Taco
Fine
Bell.
dining is Taco Bell. Or Pizza,
Pizza
Hut,
Hut, depending
Pizza
on-
Hut, depending on which version of the movie you're watching.
okay.
Okay. All right, Maverick and lucky number Selvin.
Slevin.
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 Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go with Maverick because I've seen it lately and is phenomenally good and hilarious to no end.
I'm gonna starkly disagree with you and go with lucky number 11 because I love heist-esque twist films. You know that about
Okay.
me, and that's all lucky number 11 is.
I like funny, so Maverick's my vote.
Good. I think the chat is a little bit behind. Safs did say Maverick, so we're gonna
Yeah.
go with Maverick. A Dodgeball or Wild Things.
Ooh, that's
I know what dodgeball is. That's my vote.
Okay.
I know what that is.
I recently saw something very interesting about Wild Things. It was marketed as a sleazy, raunchy film.
Mm-hmm.
Marketed as sleazy, raunchy film, and it was hinted. I've seen it. It was hinted that it would be Neve Campbell's sort of nude debut after
Yes.
she was being the good girl in Party
In
of Five,
Scream.
which is the TV
And in
series.
Scream.
And she was in Scream as well. And it was like, oh shit, we're gonna see Neve Campbell naked? Yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna go to this movie. And this movie bombed because
Ooh.
it was
Womp womp.
awful. It was awful.
You know they say that truth isn't advertising? That's a fallacy.
Fallacy. I'm gonna go with Dodgeball. I'm gonna go with
Yes.
Dodgeball.
That's funny that actually dodgeball is a part of this because I Saw the Devil, the first, the first person that gets offed by Soo-hyun with a
Mm.
wrench. I literally have
Yeah.
written in my notes, if you can dodge a ball or wrench, you can dodge a
Dodge a
ball.
ball.
Now, the one mega credit I give for Dodgeball, they literally predicted ESPN 8 the Ocho.
The Ocho. Yeah.
Literally, now we have ESPN the
ESPN 8.
Ocho.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, last pairing because we're running a bit late. The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar, even though it is the Japanese poster, and Planet of the Apes, which is the Japanese poster.
Which is, oh my god,
it is the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston.
Do you realize what the title of that says?
I don't, because I'm not fluent in Japanese.
It
says no. The top says Nihonjin right there.
What? There?
Up there? Yeah, right there. Yeah, they're saying it's one of Japan's best horror films.
But it's the American
but it's not.
version. Oh, it's not? What
not
is the
this version. The Grudge was, not
the
Ju-on. The Ju-on was actually, the Japanese version. But this is the actual Grudge, but they're using all of they're using all of the Japanese subtitles for Ju-on, but applying it to the Grudge poster.
They literally photoshopped Sarah
Michelle Gellar basically's face in the eyeball, and that's it.
Apes, says the chat.
Yeah,
I'd say apes.
That's also the Japanese poster for Planet of the Apes.
That's what I said. They're both the Japanese posters.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously.
It's Planet of the Apes for me. Charlton Heston.
God damn you! Damn you all to hell!
Dirty ape. It's also where the sentence comes from. Guns don't kill people. Apes with guns kill people. All right, cool. Oh shit! The last one is Tangled versus.
Hooray.
I'm gonna go for it. Tangled versus George of the Jungle. Surprisingly, it's going to be Tangled for me.
Wow,
gonna
you
give
picked
it
a
to-
Disney
yeah, I was
film.
gonna
They're
give it
both
to Tank.
Disney. They're both Disney. So I have to choose one of the Disney movies. Tangled is substantially funnier than fucking George of the Jungle.
Mephisto feels a certain way
Ah.
about this. Nah,
One of,
yeah,
if not one, if one of, if not the worst Brendan Fraser movie, and that's saying this is before Monkey Bone came out.
This George of the Jungle
When,
literally,
like many years after Encino Man as
figuratively
well.
almost killed his career until he got the Mummy role. And after the second Mummy role,
Yes.
then his career was over.
Yeah.
Woof.
Officially.
Well, no, it actually is. He's actually having, oddly enough, an odd career renaissance after his stuff on TV shows now, which
Oh,
he's
okay.
killing it now.
So, do we have a vote? Just casually, it doesn't matter. It's going to be
Oh, I'm
Tangled.
gonna have to go with Tangled because
Oh, Tangled, yeah.
It's the. Oh, leave me alone. There we go. All right, cool. No, the webpage didn't want to close. Okay, so
we have
a little bit of realization.
Mhm.
he gets to Sohyun gets to the
Saf,
house.
why are you saying night to Mrs. Meth? Is she
You
in the
thought it
chat?
was Mrs. Meth. You were saying leave me alone too.
Oh no, it's the website. Mrs. Meth has been knocked the fuck out about an hour ago. Yeah.
Given the context of the film we watched, you should maybe say just use a different terminology there.
She knocked herself out. I was here. I have proof. Right. So we have a little bit of realization that he is losing, and he basically
Well,
did
that
that.
and also, and
did that
anyways, he
to his
already
own
lost.
family?
Well, because
Yeah, he's
Taeju
like,
even
yeah, he
told
already
him,
lost.
because Taeju already told him, the guy who he just gave the permanent smile to, he told him, you don't realize that who you messed with, you don't realize that you already lost. He's going to take out everyone else, and then he's just going to turn himself in.
Yep.
That way you can never get to him.
Yep.
He's going to win.
Yeah. Even though he is going to sit in prison, it doesn't matter. You didn't get the kill.
But you want, yeah, the
No, you didn't get the revenge you were looking for.
Exactly.
final blow.
Well, this is, let's just say this is tame. This is jumping to the end. He did manage. He was.
I will say the somewhat odd, almost kidnapping of Kyungchu by Sohyun, how they were able to get that shot off on such a low budget, man,
let me
that
try
was
let me try and
well
grab that.
done.
That was a
he opened up the driver's side car door, backed into a post to break it off, then just drove in, which is grabbed him and just peeled out.
It sort of reminded me of the first Red movie, where he did a slide stop, got out of the car, and started like the car went one way and he went the other way, and he was shooting at the I think it was not Keith Urban. Carl Urban. Keith Urban is somebody completely different. Carl Urban.
I would say the Keith Urban is the country singer.
Yes.
Two different people. I would say, you know why that's funny though, Meph? Is because some of the DPs on this film worked on the Red series.
You can see these inspiration. Now, Red was 2018?
No,
16?
it was 2012 or 2012.
Oh, not that
Red
much
2. Red 2 was like
was
2016, 2017, I think.
Yeah. I can't really get the exact moment, but it's blurry, but you get it. Everything is blurry in the shot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I agree, Saf. Red was really good. Really good. Red 2,
So it was, yeah.
Not so much.
That's all right.
And this guy was in Red 2, so
yep.
Weird. Anyway, yeah, it's sort of a weird kind of set piece
Mm.
where you're suddenly turned from a sort of a cerebral thriller into a
It's
basically
action, baby.
it's
Yeah.
suddenly it's an American action movie, and like, holy shit, they're doing this now. It's like, oh, okay.
I guess we're here for this.
And oh my God, we're over 2 hours into this movie. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like it just all of a sudden just like Soo-yeon in that car.
And
Yep.
it turns into a very long, drawn out last scene. I wouldn't call it last scene, but the scene where they're basically talking and not talking. One guy is torturing the other guy, but they're having a civil conversation.
As civil as it could possibly. I almost felt like it was still like a pissing contest to the end type deal. Like, no, you're not gonna have it. No, you're not gonna have it. Like,
Let's just say I thought the screwdriver to the side of the face would be the done deal, but they continued on after that.
he said, "Mhm.
Oh,
It ain't over till it's over."
I think it's where
What do you say? He said, "It's only when you're at your most in pain and in fear,
In fear,
then I
yeah.
want you to die."
Mm-hmm.
and
I'll
the
never be scared.
retort was, you don't understand. I don't feel pain, and I don't know what fear is.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't know what what is fear. I don't know what it is, because I've never been afraid, because I'm a fucking psycho.
I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
But it's really, really powerful scene, and we kind of at this point, if you watch it for the first time, you kind of don't know where this is going, because it
Mhm.
doesn't seem like he wants to kill him outright.
Mm-mm. Like,
Because
how is
when
he
he
gonna
takes
use
out the
it?
fucking screwdriver, it's like, are you gonna kill him, or
Are you just gonna take the L?
yeah,
Yeah.
what's going? Are you
Well, because
gonna?
also too, because again to that point where Ling, he said, "Are you going to take the L?" Because he's telling him constantly, "You don't understand. I've already won."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kung Chu is constantly like. At first, he tries to placate to him because he's doing what all psychopaths do, which is mimic empathy, which is try
Mhm.
to bring out emotion in them,
Yeah.
saying, "Please, please let me go. I'm so
Oh, that's right.
sorry.
He
I'll pay for my sins. Please let me go. Please let
That's
me
yeah.
go."
And I
Definitely
was
did
like,
not feel
oh,
genuine.
he's trying to invoke what the his fiance did, but he didn't really hear her say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what was funny is the fact that when what Soo-hyun immediately as he tells him, "Oh, you like that, don't you? How many times have you heard someone say that?"
Say
And
that.
right then, Kyung Chu knew that the jig was up. But there
Yep.
was no getting anything out of him. So that's when there was that tonal switch of faking this pleading for my life, just like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
already won. So let's just get this over with.
Mhm.
But the sinister plan, or the revenge plan, comes together at the very end, where our antagonist kind of realizes that
Ah.
his family is coming,
Yup.
and this is the payoff.
Well, because the whole thing where he has the bit in his mouth and he's still saying, "Fuck you," I haven't, I won already. I'm gonna live through this and I'm gonna come after you and all
Yeah.
this. And then
Yep.
he hears his family going, "Kyung Chu," and his son saying, "Dad, Dad,
Yeah.
Dad, where
Mhm.
are you, Dad? Where are you, Dad?" And he's like,
Mm.
"Oh
Oh.
no, it's the one thing that actually could get to me."
Yeah.
Yep.
And the payoff from the rolling head at the start to the feet of our protagonist is the rolling head, like we said, to the feet of the son,
Mhm.
and the
And his
realization
parents,
of
yeah.
what's going on.
So I had
Um,
a quick question because I was
Mhm.
slightly like this
Fine.
at the end. So on for the guillotine with the rope, Was it
Yes.
tied to the door at all, or was it
Yeah.
up?
So
Yes.
when they were trying to get the door open, it was pulling it out of his mouth.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if
Yes.
that was like
So
his
that's why he kept saying, he's like, no, stop, don't open the door, don't open the
Okay.
door,
because it'll.
because
It would if it was not locked, they would just open the door and it
Mhm.
would have literally come loose from his mouth and chop his. That's exactly what happened. at
Yes,
the
I was
Yeah,
gonna say they
but
they
also,
opened the door and
if
then.
you think about it, see how much he was torturing him even at the end to not make it quick, to make it so
Yeah.
he had to actually have a conversation with them as he has the bit in his mouth.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Told you that this movie's good, but oh boy,
this is the most tame picture. That
Yep.
yeah.
the least amount of blood that I could put this. Yeah.
Woof.
Woof.
Yeah. But again, it all goes back to the concept of the feet, hands, head.
And
And
head.
the head, right? Yeah. That. Oh,
Well,
okay.
sorry, it was hands, feet, head. Yeah.
Or hands, feet. Yeah, hands, feet, head.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how he tortured him without knowing. He only realized that basically at
With
the
Teju,
house,
yeah. Yeah.
at the house, but he
Mhm.
was already on that path.
Already doing it. Yeah.
Yep.
Already on that path. All right, cool.
Yeah. But then we have to go to the very, very last
Oh,
scene,
you wanna
which is
Oh my gosh, it was.
that's the most heartbreaking part of the whole film, where it's where Soo-hyun, he's walking down the street by himself. He
Mhm.
has the earpiece still in his mouth, so he can hear
Here,
Kung-chun's family crying about Kung-chun's death.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I'll
so
set it up
he
'cause
takes
there's a severed head on my other screen.
yeah. He takes the headphones out and he
And
just starts openly sobbing.
Yes, and I thought it was also really, I guess it not is poetic the word that you couldn't the way that he was sobbing almost looked like he was laughing, and you couldn't quite tell. You know how like something's so ridiculous, it's funny.
I didn't
but it's
see a
not
smile.
funny. It's
Yeah.
that the grimace, the and the music on top of it also I thought was very
Oh,
artful.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
Oh yeah.
enjoyed. I almost feel like scenes like that are more powerful, like in the very beginning with the head rolling, which I guess is a parallel at this point. But you don't hear him sobbing, crying. It's the swelling and just seeing the visuals here.
Mhm.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. But how did you like that the sudden just cut to black? It's like, oh, he's crying and that's it.
The end. I was like, I'm sitting in my seat, like, is this actually the end? Is this the end? It was a ride.
I think this is the end.
Yep.
And it
That's-
literally cuts to black and
And then
we're
it just-
done. And like, oh shit, 2.5 hours. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really 2.5. It's like 2 and 15, 18.
Yeah, two.
Doesn't matter.
I do think since they started off with him in the beginning as well, the I could also just be looking too much into this, the symbolism with the colors, because there was a lot of white with the snow, white with like the inside of the fiance's car. She was wearing a white fur coat. He was even wearing like a white like a dress shirt, and then he put on his black jacket, and then everything just started getting darker. And at this end scene, everything's like rainy and dark, and he's got a dark jacket. So I thought that symbolic for the
Someone's picking up Limo Guy cinematography.
if nothing else, that's what I can do.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really nice.
Yeah. I thought so as well. It was like I said, let's do a sum up, okay? I'll give my my non-notes. Cinematography, fucking great. Every shot was had a purpose. Everything that you needed to see, you saw. Everything that you needed to visualize was there. Everything was visceral. The blood, let's say the fake blood budget was on fucking point because there was a lot of it, and not just like flowing like spritzes of blood, but it lingered. You've seen it on the faces, on the hair, everywhere. There was fucking visceral either reminder that something happened or something is happening now. And all the different shots, awesome. In terms of the story, super dark, heavy, and it kind of lets you reflect on your own self. Where am I gonna put the line of where's my revenge story is gonna end? Is it gonna be fast or is it gonna be torturously slow, which is this was?
Mhm.
And the whole stuff that got out of hand because you were playing he was playing his odds too much,
Mhm.
and then when he was called out, then there were repercussions, meaning the would-be father-in-law and the sister of your fiance got it because you were taking your time and being slow.
Mhm.
Overall, I enjoyed this very much. I love it when I see a movie that I was kind of, I'm not so sure I really want to watch this, but okay, my friend wanted me to watch this, and suddenly you're like, oh shit, I like this. Where was this not what? Why was this not a part of my repertoire? And now it is, and I'm happy for it. Go ahead, Ling.
This just has reaffirmed that not particularly my type of genre, though everything visually was there for a reason, not quite the visuals that I am going to be returning to of my own accord either. Um, it was a rough watch. I'm glad I had ads in the middle of because I watched it free on
Yep.
Tubi. But I like it. That aside, just from like me, oh, this is shocking. I don't think I'll watch it again. I think the intention behind the film and the artwork and the craft that went into it was gorgeous, stunning. Like the thought process that went into it. I actually really enjoyed. So I almost kind of liked taking it apart a little bit more than just like sitting and watching it. So if I were to talk about it again, I feel like I would, I have more things to talk about than I'm just gonna sit and watch it again, like watch for different things. So I enjoyed the symbolism, and like the cinematography, like we all have been saying as well. As gruesome as it was, it was it had a purpose, very, very, intentional. So I enjoyed that.
The chat
Well,
says we
Seth
give
was
you
just saying, it
nightmares.
gave you nightmares.
I had a palate cleanser afterwards. We're okay.
Yeah. Like, hey, I warned Ling many, many, many times. Like she wanted to come on to the podcast. I'm like, are you sure you want to watch I Saw the Devil? It's a very rough watch. You're like, yeah, I want to watch it. You said it's a good movie. I'm like, okay.
Good. It just was not my type of movie because I like
Yeah.
experiencing new things and like I like
Yeah,
Mephistoe. I wouldn't
that's where I came from. I was like, I don't really like horror films at all in general. Not to mention films not in language I can discern. But I'm coming around to a lot of Korean stuff.
Yeah.
This year I've watched Squid Games, but it kind of gave me a taste. I saw The Silent Sea, which
Oh, I need to watch it. Oh, one of my favorite
it's
actors.
worth a watch, but again, for me, it was a solid 6. But it's worth watching just to get to see other things.
Mhm.
But from also, if you also have seen Alien, if you also seen other kind of thriller horror movies, it kind of is. It's that, but it's not that.
But
I've also started seeing. I think it's Hellbound also comes from a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
Hellbound, I
You
need to
start watching
finish
Hellbound.
watching it. It it started off really good, and I just need to clear time
And you
to
still
watch
need to
it.
see Parasite, which I still have. I cannot
And
believe
yeah,
you have
and
not seen.
Parasite is on the list, is on the list as well.
I'll have a good.
And it's all these different Korean things, and feelings did say to me, dude, it's either like super cheesy K-pop or horror. I want to kill you.
Written
Yeah.
everything, but it's a beautiful show for the sight for the eyes
Mm.
all at the same time. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. So Definitely. I'll check out other Korean stuff as
And
well.
also, Biffer brought up a very, very good film too
Mm,
that not a lot of people have seen
The
called The
Wailing.
Wailing. It's
I've heard about it.
it's really good.
Heard about it.
That's one that Trey would like, Ling. That's one that you go, no, no, no.
Yeah, we have Alex in chat, and yes, I was struggling. Movie, you ever rat me out? I was struggling, but it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Feelings. Give us your last words, and
As I said,
we'll
it's up
close out
there
the show.
in my top 10 films of all time. I believe it's probably. I think it. Well, yeah, I would say it is. It's the best revenge film I have ever seen. The only other one that comes close to it probably would be, again, a classic Old Boy or Irreversible. But Irreversible is a film that not a lot of people could stomach. It's hauntingly graphic in a way that most people would just be like, "Nope, I'm done. I'm done with this movie."
All right.
Everything about the film, though, is it, again, as you mentioned, Ling, it has a purpose behind it. The shots have depth and meaning. Everything does culminate and together in a way where even tiny little side notes of scenes, little bits of dialogue come up later in the film at
Mhm.
some point in time. And that, again, to your point, Meth, that you mentioned earlier, is that's a key sign of a good film, paying attention to its own narrative, which
Yeah.
a lot of films in the current climate do not do whatsoever. They have throwaway
Yeah.
scenes constantly where it doesn't matter what dialogue happens during them whatsoever. So that it's superfluous shot after superfluous shot
Mhm.
intermixed with 15 minutes of actual plot.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
That's
one
why-
is all just it's such a great cohesive narrative that in its way tells a grand story of the true meaning behind the film is revenge, as always, is never worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That the overall moral conclusion, I would say, for the movie is yeah. All right, cool. You, usually I do have a short version to cap us off, but of course, life is what it is, so we don't have a short version. But I might pop it as a really short version later on. Later on down the line, as one of the projects I'm doing. So we'll see. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be covering a fun, relaxing, heartfelt movie called Tropic Thunder. Now, I know it's a lot of people's favorite, so I expect a full turnout. We will have a guest, she was my GM back when I was playing really vanilla World of Warcraft. A really good friend of mine to join us. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, please give a follow for Ling on Twitch, twitch.tv / the BLT bar, or go follow her on at the BLT bar on Instagram or at the BLT bar on Twitter. And of course, if you want to interact with me, should you wish to do so, at Meffistoe on Twitter, at Meffistoe79 on Instagram, or write us an email on the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com. And of course, I didn't say it at the beginning because I really don't like pushing it, but it really helps us out if you subscribe, if you like this video, and of course, most importantly, if you share it around, if you did enjoy the conversation.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
What's up, guys?
It really does help. As one that loves looking at the analytics or analytics, it does help. Until next week, I'll see you all and have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me.